Good evening, everyone. Welcome to session number 15 of the 100K Factory. Today, we are talking about phase 3. So in the past 14 weeks, we've been going through phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 3 is about strategic expansion, and phase 3 is something that applies not only to 100K Factory, but to any online business. This is the kind of thing that you can do to scale your business. So to take it from, maybe earning $5,000-$10,000 a month and turn it into something that could make, much more than that. So $50,000-$100,000 a month. The sky is really the limit here, and we're going to have probably a couple of sessions at least about this tonight. I'm going to be giving sort of the introduction to phase 3, what it's all about. We've got an exciting an exciting Crowdforce update, and I'll be explaining that, giving a live demo, bounce breaker update, and then I'll be talking about productivity hacks, tools, and automation. Again, this is all about scaling your business. So this is more the big picture stuff. It's not so much about the in the trenches tactics that you can use to make money, but saying, okay, now that you're making money, or when you're making money, this is how you take it to the next level. So it's about strategic expansion and turning your online income into a true online empire. So today we're talking about optimizing productivity. So really, this is something that's incredibly important when you want to start growing your business. Just making sure that you make sure every minute counts, because the bigger your business gets, the less time that you'll have. And that's a good thing, but you need to know how to manage it. So we'll talk about that. Some tools and automation. You may have heard me speaking about some of these tools and automation in the past, but it certainly won't hurt to go through them again. So these are the things I will be covering today. Steve will be back in session 16, 2 weeks' time. So we're not having a training call next week. The next session will be session 16, and that'll be in 2 weeks' time. Okay. And that will be all about outsourcing and scaling your business. Now, when I started outsourcing for the very first time, probably about 9 years ago, my business, maybe not quite 9 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, my business just took off overnight, because all of a sudden, instead of me working, 20 hours per week, I was getting 20 hours done per day, okay? And I was able to do this by tapping into developing economies like the Philippines, for example. Nowadays we use a lot of China, Pakistan, and especially those two countries, but also other developing nations as well. And it's amazing the quality of work that you can get done to help you grow your business. So outsourcing is huge. Scaling your business. This is something that we've also done very effectively over the years, is when you find something that works, taking that thing to the next level, okay? And there's all kinds of examples, and Steve will give you more. But, one very simple and easy to understand example is many years ago, I was building Halloween sites, and I had small success with a small number, sort of 5 or 10 Halloween sites, or maybe 20, and they worked really, really well. They made me a lot of money. So the next year, I scaled that up, and I had about 1,000 Halloween sites. Okay, so that's kind of scaling on a sort of a micro level. But when you sort of scale your business on a much bigger level, there's different plans and different strategies that you can use, and Steve's going to be talking about them in detail in 2 weeks' time. So getting on to the first thing that I want to talk about tonight is Crowdforce, and it's the limited edition that we promised you. Crowdforce has been rebuilt from the ground up. It looks the same, but rest assured we've spent an enormous amount of time and money building it from the ground up, improving it, adding new functionality. It's faster and it's more effective than ever, not just with the new functionality, but also with all the original functionality as well. So if you're not using Crowdforce, I would urge you to check this out. I mean, this is really one of our flagship softwares in our whole business, because it's just such an effective tool. So the new highlights, there's a couple of things that we've done. We've added one new module, which we call the Engage module, okay? And what it does is it allows you to very, very quickly, with lightning fast, analyze other people's Facebook pages. It allows you to drill down to the most popular posts on other people's Facebook pages, which you can obviously leverage in a whole range of different ways. Okay, and then we've also got a new piece of functionality built into the YouTube module, which gives you view count of videos. So it allows you to search and filter for different videos. Okay, and say, look, I only want to see videos that have got more than 5 million views. So again, these two things are designed specifically for 100K Factory users, and they're designed to show you the most proven posts or the most proven pieces of content that people are engaging with, and we can gauge that based on how many likes something's got, how many shares something's got, or how many views something's got. So I'm going to go over to Crowdforce in just a moment. But firstly, I've built this into the slides so that when you're looking at this later, you'll have it here in front of you. Basically, in the top of Crowdforce, you'll see this new button. It says Facebook Engage. Okay, you can put in any Facebook page in here, and you can put in some basic engagement criteria: minimum number of post likes, minimum number of shares, and you can hit run. Okay, and it'll go out there and it will scan an entire Facebook page throughout the entire history of that page, and it'll give you all the different information that you need to see there. Okay, you can then go through and sort all the different posts based on different criteria. So maybe you say, look, show me the ones that have got the most likes, show me the most shares, show me the most comments. You can open each post individually here and actually see what's been done, or you can get a little snippet, a little preview of the post message. So it's very, very cool, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. The other thing, which I'll also show you, is the new view search in the YouTube module. So we've added this new filter in, and we've built in some new capability where Crowdforce can actually get all the information about how many views a video has got. Okay, and then we can simply just filter it, and we can see down here, built into that little description, it will say the number of views are, and it'll give you the number of views. Okay, so that's pretty cool as well. So it's very simple to use. It's very self-explanatory. Just use it and you'll see how it all works. So anyway, guys, you should be able to see my screen now, and just type in the chat box. Just want to make sure that you can see Crowdforce pulled up on my screen. Yep. Okay, great. So what we've got here is, let me just is the new version of Crowdforce. Now, when you open Crowdforce, it will ask you to update it, and when you update it, that's it. You've got the new version. It's 0.48. Okay, that's the new version that you should have. Now, the first thing I want to show you is the Facebook Engage module, which you'll find up here. And I love this, okay? I've been using it myself, actually, for my own Facebook page and all kinds of different things. But basically, what we do is we can put any Facebook page in here. Okay, we can look up any sort of Facebook page in here. So I'm going to, and then we can identify all the data related to it. So what I've done is I came over to Facebook, and just out of interest, let me just start this again. So I was in Facebook, I typed in scuba diving, okay, and I come to the pages menu. And this is showing me a whole bunch of different pages, okay? Lots of different pages here. Now, typically, what I want to see is if I'm going to be reverse engineering a page, you could do any, but you really want to have at least 50,000 likes or more, typically speaking, okay? So this deep sea diver's den, this one here, I opened this up, and I had a look, and I can see it's got 56,818 people that like it. And if I scroll down, I can see that they're updating reasonably regularly, not every single day, but quite regularly. And I can see that some of their posts get quite a few likes. Okay, 164 likes. And if I've got, if I'm in the scuba niche, then I might be able to get some good ideas from this. So all I have to do is copy this part of the URL. So up until the question mark, okay, just the raw URL, we copy that, come into Facebook, put it in here, and we can say, show me the posts that have got at least 200 shares and at least 200 likes and at least 20 shares. Now that's very low, okay, but on bigger pages, as I'll show you in a moment, we'll put different numbers in there, and you can change these later. So I'll just hit save, and as you can see, it's been added. It's been added down here, deep sea divers. Okay, if I scroll across to the right hand side, I can click that little button there, and it's going to sync the Facebook posts. So I'll do that, and you can see that I've got this little clock which is spinning around, and it's going there, and it's getting all the data. Okay, now this can take a wee while depending on how big the page is. You can see this is slowly starting to add up. So it's now up to 198. In a few seconds, it will probably jump up again, 297. Now, I don't know how many posts this Facebook page has got, but we'll soon find out. It can take, as I say, it can take some time depending on the page. Like this one here, I went and got all the posts from the entrepreneur Facebook page, and just while I'm showing you this, I'll actually jump over, while we're waiting, I'll jump over to the entrepreneur. And I'll look for the Facebook pages. I think it's, well, I'm not sure which one of those. This one here. Well, I'm not sure which one of those now, but I can get it from here anyway. This is Entrepreneur. It's a huge website. And this is their Facebook page. So 2.2 million. So 2.2 million people like this page, and they've done 23,981 posts, and it pulled in every single one of them, okay? And it just allowed me to filter them all. This one seems to have stopped now, 1,019 posts on the deep sea diver's den, okay? And if I now click on this little tab, so we've got 3 tabs up here. If I click on engaged posts, remember we set this to 200 minimum likes and 20 minimum shares. If I click on engaged, and from this drop down menu, deep sea divers, these are the ones that meet the criteria. These are the different posts that meet the criteria. Okay, so I could filter this by number of shares, and I could see this one here has 244 likes, 191 shares. Or I could filter it by likes, and I could see, wow, this one here has got 617 likes, and I could click view post, and obviously it's going to show me what that post is. And that's a pretty cool, that's actually a really cool photo, okay? So I can see why it got so many likes. But if I had a page about scuba or diving, you know, that would be great. Let's just filter it by shares now. So obviously some things get a lot of likes, but they don't get that many shares. So let's have a look at this one. Okay, so that was like a joke. It's actually quite good. So anyway, we can see that, you know, that got a lot of shares. But this is great. Okay, can you guys see? I just would love to get some feedback from you. Can you see how powerful? Can you see how powerful this is? Just type in the chat box. Yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, so let me show you now. Let me just show you something else. Let's say that you did this, but you wanted to get we've only got about 20 or 30 results here. Let's say that you actually wanted more results. Then what we could do is we could come back over here and we could edit this engagement criteria. So I could click on that little button and I could change this. So I could say, actually, you know what, just show me posts that have got 150 likes or more and a minimum of 15 shares. And I hit save page. You'll see that says 150 and 15. If I come over to engaged posts, again, I'll just refresh this. You can see that now we've got a lot more. So we've probably got 50 or more now. If I wanted to then make that even more, I could say, show me something that's got 300 likes and 40 shares, and it updates the criteria. And again, I can come back into engaged posts, select it from the drop down menu, and we've got 3. Okay. If you want to see all the posts, then you just come to all posts and you see deep sea divers, and this is going to give me literally thousands and thousands of I don't remember how many it was, 1019. Okay, so let's have a look at another one that I pulled up when I was doing some testing. Elite Daily. Okay, let's go, and we said, let me just see, we said for Elite Daily, show me posts that have got at least 3,000 likes and at least 10,000 shares. Okay, so let's see what Elite Daily has there. And not sure what happened there. Wow, I'm not sure what happened, but this is the issue when you do something live. Can you guys still hear me? Yep. Okay, it seems to have fixed itself now. So I'll come back to Elite Daily, and I just have to, sometimes when you use this you might get duplicate results in here, but if you click sync update, then it'll say please wait while it's being synced, and it should come back and just give you one per row. But this is a very, very big Facebook page, so I'm not sure if that's why I'm getting this little ball of death on my cursor here, but anyway, it should fix itself. Should fix itself pretty soon. So a couple of questions just while we're waiting. What are the number of likes and share criteria you normally use? It really depends on how big the Facebook page is. So if it's got millions of visitors, then you'll probably want to set the criteria quite high, like the one that I showed you here, like something like 10,000 likes and 10,000 shares or something like that. Okay, this is finished now, so let's take a look. It's synced all these, and we can see the different posts down here. I don't know what's happened to this, but I seem to have lost control of my mouse. But anyway, you can then just click on these here and you open up the posts, just as I showed you before. And again, you've got all the data. You can sort this in any way you like. So it's pretty cool. And as soon as that, I might just turn it off and restart it. Yeah, I'm gonna just restart Crowdforce. I'm not sure what happened to it, but just bear with me for a second here, guys. I'm just gonna restart Crowdforce. So I've just restarted Crowdforce. I don't know what made it spin like that. I think it's more likely an issue on my machine. But what I wanted to show you now was the other new feature, which is the YouTube tool. Okay, so the YouTube filtering tool. So you need to first set up a project, and we've got other videos showing you how to do that, so I'm not going to go through that now. But if we come to the Opportunities tab, and if I said I want to just have a look at Extreme Rush, and I want to see YouTube videos that Crowdforce has found for Extreme Rush, and I only want to see videos that have got 1 million or more views, I can hit Filter, and we can see all these videos here, okay? Now I might say, you know what, I just want to see videos that have got 3 million or more, and it filters them down even more, okay? If I open this, you can drag these columns to make them bigger or smaller. But this one here, for example, has got 11 million views, okay? 11 million views on that one. This one here has got 3,600,000, so on and so forth. So you can filter this. You can get as kind of granular as you want here. And then when you're ready to have a look at something, you can just click View Web Page, and it brings it up here. And as you can see, 11 million views. And this is a great way to find more content. It's an alternative, really, to the 100K Launchpad tool that you've already got access to. Okay, and then if you want to use this and you want to start using these videos, you could click here, Add to To-Do List, and you'll do this, and it'll put it in your to-do list over here. Okay, so and then you've got different action and progress, processed, and you're done. Okay, so that's a little bit about the new functionality that we've spent a lot of time and effort sort of building. I'm pretty excited about it. Hopefully you guys are too. You guys have got access to Crowdforce for life. You'll get all the updates that we do with Crowdforce. So yeah, I mean, we'll continue to work on it. As I mentioned, it's a tool that we've been spending a lot of time and money on for a long, long time. It's not on the market. No one can actually go out and buy Crowdforce, but you guys do have access to it. So anyway, I really encourage you to take a look and start using it. Now, the other tool that we released a few weeks ago is Bounce Breaker. We've been working hard on these other two parts of it, and I've been told that they're going to be ready within the next 10 days or so. I think even sooner than that, but we'll have to do some testing. So you've already got access to the pop-up suite, and that's a tool that allows pop-ups to appear on your website. And soon you'll have the Attention Grabber plugin and Billboard. Now, Billboard is a bar that sits at the top of your website. You can use it to get opt-ins or send people to different pages. And the attention grabber actually sits in the top left corner of your website. Okay, so anyway, that's coming soon. Some exciting news was that we crunched the numbers, and Bounce Breaker has had over, well, specifically the pop-up suite has had over 200,000 pop-up opens now and over 30,000 conversions. So that gives you an idea of the type of traffic that some people's websites are getting. This is kind of the cumulative traffic, so I'm not sure how many people are actually using Bounce Breaker, but it's just the 100K Factory people. And over 200,000 pop-ups opened and 30,000 conversions, and you can see some stats from one of our accounts here. So it's working really well. We've been using it a lot on all kinds of different projects. So I encourage you to use it. Okay. Both the new tools should be ready within the next 7 days. We will film demo videos and upload them for you once they're done. If you're not using Bounce Breaker, you're leaving money on the table. It's super easy to use, so we just say, why don't you go and use it? It's pretty cool. So that's kind of the updates done that we wanted to get through tonight. And now we're talking about productivity hacks, tools, and automation. Specifically, how we run our business and some of the tools that we use, which you might find useful as well. And remember, this is all tied in to growing your business and taking it to the next level. Okay, so there's a group of spreadsheets and a group of different sort of best practices, if you like, that we use to run our business, and I'm going to go through them now. The first one is called the business management spreadsheet, and I've got that here. This is a template. And it's got a few different tabs on it. So it's got one tab where we list out our domains, and this has got hosting information, the WordPress login details if it's on WordPress, when it expires, and all that good stuff. Okay, whereabouts you've where you've got it registered, so on and so forth. And then we've got a whole bunch of logins as well. So this is the actual place you'll have your hosting login details and maybe other login details as well. Okay, and then we've got a place where you can put your email accounts. If you've got multiple email accounts, then this is kind of the place where you will save all your critical information for your business. It's your one-stop shop. It's kind of like your command center where you can come and you've got everything in front of you at a glance that you use to sort of run your business. And it's important as you grow, it gets more and more important to stay organized. I know that sometimes growth can happen quite quickly, and if you're not prepared for it, you can be putting yourself in a less than desirable situation, really, because it's not. If you're not organized, then you're going to end up missing out on money, missing out on income as well. So that's the business management spreadsheet. The next one we use is the monthly financial report, and we break things out into different channels. So this here is a basic example of the kind of reporting that we do. It's fine to use Excel spreadsheet, or you could use Google Drive spreadsheets. But what we've got here is we've got income per month. So we divide it. We do it on a yearly basis. Okay. So here we can see January 2015. We've got the income channels. So we might have Amazon, Dropship, affiliate websites, and they might include the 100K Factory websites, Kindle books, and then other. These are the different income channels. Okay. And then over here, we've got the amount. Okay. So quite self-explanatory. And then we've got the expenses. So we know exactly how much we're spending on hosting, on domains, on different services, on other stuff, and on advertising. Okay. And then we just add all this up, and we've got the net profit. And we do this so we can see, if we want to save some money, we can say, okay, well, where are we spending all the money on our business? Where is it all going? And You can see at a glance. Same with the income. And then the other tabs over here, this here is just an automatically updated tab, which again gives you the summary by channel. And then we've got this tab which we use for other income. So this is miscellaneous stuff that doesn't happen every month, but you need to include it in your accounting. Okay, so you might help one of your friends build a website and he pays you for it or something like that, or you might sell a website and you make some money. We just put the details in there, when it happened and how much. And then the same for other expenses. Okay, you might buy a 99 Designs logo or something and you just put it in there. So that's the reporting template, and we're obviously going to put all these in the members area for you. And again, this is the place that you can track all incoming and outgoing income. Okay, what else have we got here? The next thing that we do in our business is we have been very careful over the years to make sure that the business has been built with a structure that will support growth. Okay, now we started out, Steve and myself, we started out just as a one-man band. Okay, so just one guy, running and trying to build an online marketing business, and this is how most people start out. But even if that's you, there's still things that you can do to prepare yourself for when things do take off. Because with building an online business, it's not a case of if it's going to happen, it's just a case of when it's going to happen. I've never seen someone that's stuck with internet marketing for a long period of time that hasn't had pretty huge success with online marketing. Okay, it happens faster for some people than others, but everyone I've seen has really managed to succeed when they've stuck with it. So in our business, what we do is we structure it like this, and you'll see why this is such a good structure in just a moment. First of all, we have essentially a CEO, and Steve and myself both kind of dip into this a little bit. We then have a chief technology officer, chief financial officer, and a chief operations officer for different parts of the business. We've then got what we call producers, and we've got traffic and funnel. Okay. Now, at the moment, you may be wondering, well, I don't need a chief financial officer. I don't need a CEO. And you're right, but it still helps to think in this way. Okay. So why should you think in this way? Why should you bother thinking about this structure? What it means is that you, as a business owner, can grow your business without getting stuck in the day-to-day operations. So if you know that some tasks in your business belong in finances, then it makes it very easy in the future to say, okay, I'm going to employ someone to do some of these jobs, and they'll just be able to seamlessly pick up where you left off, and it won't cause a logistical nightmare. Okay, and I'm telling you this in hindsight because my business grew pretty fast a few years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I didn't have any of this. So when I was hiring people, it was a real nightmare because I didn't know, which roles belong to which people, so on and so forth. So how does this apply to you? Well, you don't need to have all the staff to be able to do this. You can still do what we call wearing different hats. So basically, when we say wearing different hats, what we're talking about is at certain times in the week, at certain times in the day, you might put on different hats. So on a certain day each week, you might put on your chief financial officer hat and analyze all the incoming and outgoing revenue from your websites or from your business. Okay. Once a month, you might put on your CEO. Okay. You might put on the CEO hat and make the big decisions that impact your business kind of as a whole. So it may be something initially like, should you start a new site? Should you ditch one site and do something differently? Those kind of things. And then, you've also at different times are going to be a producer. So maybe with 100K Factory, most of the time initially, you're in this producer role. But imagine at some point in the not too distant future, if you could just say, okay, everything I'm doing when I'm working with my producer hat on, someone else is going to do because I'm going to employ a producer. And then you're just left looking after these different things. And then when your business grows even bigger and you've got 100 websites, you're no longer going to have one producer, you're probably going to have about 5, but they all just slot in nicely underneath one another. So it makes expansion very big because you've only got 6 different areas and each one can have different people kind of slotting in underneath it. Okay. So does that idea of wearing different hats kind of make sense to people? Hopefully, it would have been good if I had a diagram or something. But hopefully you can see why it's important to start thinking like this, because if you don't do this, you'll wake up one day and you'll probably be making, $10,000, $20,000 a month, and it'll just be a logistical nightmare. That's what it was like for me. But if you kind of have this mindset from the start, even if you don't actively think about it that often, if you just kind of have it in the back of your mind and understand that when you begin to expand, this here is a good model to kind of use. Okay. So the next thing that is vitally important when you're expanding, and this is, I think, is true for any successful business, is that you have to be absolutely ruthless with time management. Okay? You've only got so many hours in each day, and you need to use them in the absolute smartest way possible. Okay? And it's hard to do this. This is something that I struggle with, but I've gotten better at it over the years. Okay? What I like to do, this is my personal approach to this, is I use Google Calendar and I block out slots of time for important things. I've also, most of the time, got one main focus, which is one main focus in my business. And Steve's also got one main focus. And then, for example, our chief, our e-commerce manager, she's got one main focus as well. Okay, and it just trickles through the entire organization. Okay, so what we do is once we identify what this one main focus is, and for you, it might be your one main focus might be on scaling up that one website that's earning you $15 a day and making it something that earns you $150 a day. That might be your one main focus. If that's your one main focus, then set aside time each week. Lock it into your calendar. And in those time slots, don't look at anything else. Don't open up your emails. Don't get distracted. Don't do anything. Just focus on that number one priority. What I like to do for my number one focus is block out my best hours of the day. And for me, I'm a morning person, so my brain functions a bit better in the morning. And so I block out hours in the morning to focus on my number one priority. And I slot everything else in around this. Okay. It's also incredibly important to learn to say no. This is one of the hardest things for an entrepreneur. I know that for me, it's hard to say no to new opportunities, okay? But you have to say no sometimes to new opportunities. It's critical to your success to be able to say no and to be able to filter between things that could be of massive value to you and things that maybe you shouldn't be focused on, okay? So you've got to get ruthless with this time management because it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're still only going to have 24 hours in the day, okay, and you're still just one person. The next thing that has been incredibly helpful to us, and to me especially as I've been growing my business over the years, is to create something called standard operating procedures. Now, this is just basically documenting your daily tasks. So let's say, for example, that with your 100K Factory websites, one of the things you do in the morning is you open up the 100K Launchpad and you identify some viral content that you want to add to your Facebook page. You check it all out and then you add it to your Facebook page and you're done. That's one procedure. If you created a standard operating procedure, then you could give that to someone and they'd be able to do it. So let me give you an example. This here is a standard operating procedure that we've got. And by the way, you can see the link here, 100kfactory.com/members/SOP, and we'll put this in the members area. But you can come in here, and this here is how to set up a webinar. So we can give this to any of our team, and it doesn't matter if they're brand new. If it was their first day working for us, we could give them this document. They could come in here and they'd be able to schedule a webinar for us, okay? They'd be able to come in here and schedule a webinar. And this might seem like something trivial, but it's something that takes 10 minutes, okay? And I don't want to spend 10 minutes setting up a webinar. Just don't want to do that. It's not a good way for me to spend my time, okay? So this is an example of a standard operating procedure. We've got images, we've got little arrows on there, and we've got step-by-step instructions. You can set these up for everything in your business, okay? And what I want you to think about is if someone else can do a job as well as you, and remember, most of the jobs that we're doing, we think that we're kind of like, I know what it's like when I'm running these 100K factory sites or any other site. You get to the point where you think like, I've mastered this. It would be really hard to find an employee that could do it as well as I could do it. It's a natural way to think. But the reality is that anyone, almost anyone, any intelligent person can learn to do whatever it is that we're doing using these simple standard operating procedures and with a little bit of experience, okay? So this is an interesting thing to consider. If someone else can do a job as well as you for less than your hourly value, then you should consider hiring them or someone like them to do it. So you might be wondering, what the heck is my hourly value? It's something that's quite important to actually work out, because once you know what your hourly value is, then you can decide if you should hire someone. So let's say that you've got, you work full-time as an online marketer. Internet marketing is now your full-time job and you earn $50,000 a year. Okay, so you're doing okay, $50,000 a year, you're working 49 hours, you're working 49 weeks, 40 hours a week. That's 1,960 hours in a year. Okay, your hourly value is $25.50. That's how much money you make per hour as a business owner. And that should say 50,000. That's a typo there. It should say 50,000 divided by 50,000 is your salary divided by the hours you work. Based on this, if you can find someone and you can pay them less than $25 per hour to update your website, then it may be worth doing it. Okay, if you can find someone and you can pay them, if you spend 10 hours a week on your Facebook page, but you can find someone to manage your Facebook page for you, and you can pay them less than $25 an hour, then you might want to do it because you're freeing up all that time. Does that concept make sense? Just type yes in the chat box if this is making sense. Yep, great. Okay, cool. This is something that's hard as well when you're starting out. I know that for me it was very hard to let go and just say, okay, someone else is going to do this. Or it was hard, many years ago, it was hard for me to say, I'm going to pay someone $200 to do this, because $200 is a lot of money. And, it can be hard to make that mindset shift, but at some point in time you have to if you want to scale your business. And if you want to take it to the point where you're making $100,000 a month, you have to be able to do that because you can't do it by yourself, okay? So standard operating procedures and getting in the sort of the mindset of working out what your hourly value is and using that to determine if it makes sense to pay someone else to do something for you. In the long run, if you think about 10 years from now, assume you had a $10 million per year business. What are the things that you would want to do? You'd want to do the highly strategic things. You'd want to be maybe that's not what you'd want to do, but it's probably the best thing for you to do is to make those strategic decisions and have other people doing everything else. So they are kind of the core fundamentals that we use to run our business. But there's a few other tools we use as well. And this is a bit of a mishmash of different things that you can check out. Hopefully you'll find some of them useful. The first is Trello, and you may have heard Steve talking about this because Steve swears by it, okay? This is basically how Steve runs his whole life, by the way. And inside Trello, you can set up, they're called different boards. So you can set up different boards to plan different things. Okay, so maybe one of the things that you're interested in is flying. Okay, and you'll put all your kind of to-do lists and things that you want to do for flying. This is what Steve does on that board. And then another board might be for 100K Factory websites. And you'll put your to-do lists on there, and you can assign when you're going to do them. You can, arrange them in order of importance. It's free. Steve uses it in a big way. Personally, I don't use it, but Steve absolutely swears by it, which is why we put it in here. Okay. Google Drive. This is great, and it's getting better. We've started using this in a big way for sharing a lot of the documents that we work on. So spreadsheets is it's one of the places we track a lot of the things we do. We use Google Drive to track it. Google Drive syncs nicely across machines. It's good for online use. Give you an example. When I was flying back from the UK, flying back from London a few days ago, I was on the plane, but I needed to get some work done, and I could access Google Drive because I had all my Google Drive stuff downloaded, synced up with my machine, and also my computer, my laptop, and also synced up with my iPad. So I could be there if I wanted, working on my laptop, or I could be on my iPad at 10,000 feet and 30,000 feet or whatever, and I've got access to everything. So it's not just for online. It works very well for offline as well. Evernote, this is really just an advanced list building tool, and by list building I mean like to-do list. It's great for noting down ideas. It also syncs across multiple devices. At one point in time, I was using Evernote extensively, like every single day I was using it. And a lot of people do swear by it. I've gone back, I've reverted kind of to the most sort of minimalistic note taking that's possible, and I just use Notepad. Now I use this one here, Text Edit. That's my Notepad. It doesn't sync across different machines, but I have my own little system and sort of way of doing it. But Evernote is used by a lot of people, and I did use it for a long period of time. This is something that every one of you should use. This one here. It's this. If you just type a 1 in the chat box if you listen to videos online. Sometimes maybe internet marketing training videos. Or some kind of videos, right? Most of us do it. I know I do. If you do that, then this tool here is going to be an absolute lifesaver. It's going to save you just a huge amount of time. I'm going to open this one up. What Enounce does is it allows you to speed up videos, okay? And you can train your brain to be able to understand videos. You may not want to speed me up because you might not understand me. But seriously though, it's a great way to speed up videos and listen to it, double the speed. So instead of sitting through a 90-minute webinar, watch it in 45 minutes. It's absolutely brilliant. Works on Mac and PC. I use it every single day almost. That little button up there that you can see at the top of my browser, that's what it is. Okay, I use it all the time. And again, it works on Mac and PC. It does, I can't remember how much it costs, but it's got a free trial and it's worth every single penny. I just can't remember how much it costs, but it's just, you're just going to save hours and hours and hours and hours of time. It's a brilliant tool. Okay. And it's still working. Gene is saying it doesn't work on Al Captain Mac update. It's working on my Mac, so I'm not sure which one, but I think I've got the latest update. Anyway, if it doesn't work on the latest Mac update, I'm sure they'll fix it so it does. But I've been using it for a long time now. Okay. Just seeing. Does eNout work for offline videos or only for online? It can work for both. And Rob said there's one called VLC, which is also an option. So I've never used VLC, but I don't know what that is. But VLC, it looks like another video player. So that might be another free one, but get one of them because this is going to save you a lot of time. RoboForm, hopefully you're using some kind of tool to remember your passwords, remember your login details. It's going to save you, again, a lot of time. Sign Easy, this is one that I use in my, every single week as well. It's an iPad app. I'm sure it exists on other tablets as well, but it allows you to sign documents digitally, just using your finger or something like that on a tablet. It's brilliant if you need to sign documents on a regular basis. I use this almost every single week. You can check it out here, getsigneasy.com. You can see it's really, really cool. I think it is actually a paid. I think they do have a free app, but I purchased it for like $4 or something, and it's just brilliant. So it allows you to sign documents, and it's legally accepted as well in most parts of the world. Visual Website Optimizer, this is an advanced way to split test your websites. Use it once you get big numbers of people coming to your sites. So unless you're getting under sort of 10, 20, 50,000 people per day coming to your site, I probably wouldn't worry about it. But if you're getting big numbers of people coming to your site, then it can make you a lot of money because it can help you optimize. So, yeah, it's just a great optimization tool. You can also use Google Analytics, which is free. VWO is not free. It's a paid tool. But Google Analytics will do this stuff for you for free. And in fact, for your 100K factory websites, you should use Google Analytics because it will tie in perfectly with Google AdSense and you'll have all the data in one place. But for any other kind of website, Visual Website Optimizer is better because it makes it just easier to set up different experiments and all that stuff. Okay. And then this one's a pretty much a no-brainer at this point in time. There are a few things that you might not be aware of with Skype. You can actually use it for call forwarding, and you can use it for 800 numbers. For 800 numbers, you'll have to hook it up with something like this, toll-free forwarding. So we use Skype in our business for different meetings and conference calls as well. So a few different resources for you. There are a couple of blog posts on aidenbooth.com. And hopefully you got an email from us a couple of days ago about this blog post here. I know it's not specifically related to 100K Factory, but if you're interested in Amazon, you should check this one out. Anyway, the blog posts, this one here, 4 secrets to running a 7-figure business. And I'll just come back. I think it was on the second page here. 29 tools I use to run my business. So these two here have got more information. In fact, a video showing how I use this spreadsheet, these two spreadsheets, which I've made available for you today, and some more information. And then this one here has got 29 tools that I use to run the business, and a lot of tools that I haven't spoken about today. Today I really just wanted to pull out the ones that I thought would be most useful for 100K Factory style websites. So by all means, check these out, these different resources out. You might find them useful. The next workshop is going to be happening in 2 weeks' time. It will be, as I mentioned, about outsourcing and scaling your business. So these two things are absolutely key to growing an online empire. When I started outsourcing, as I mentioned at the beginning of this call, when I started outsourcing, my business took off. I remember it like it was yesterday. I I was building affiliate authority sites, and I started paying someone to write all the articles for me. So I was building websites about dog training, all kinds of bizarre niches, and I was selling products on ClickBank, and I used to write all the content myself because I was completely broke at that point in time. And once I started making a little bit of money, I just reinvested all of it. I didn't give myself a paycheck. My website started making a couple of $100 or a week or something like that, and I just reinvested all of it into outsourcing, and it allowed me to get to the point where instead of doing 4 hours on my business per day or whatever it was, I was getting like 20 or 30 or 40 hours a day per day done because I was hiring people, and obviously helped my business take off. Now imagine doing that with 100K Factory. You've obviously got some different constraints because you're doing advertising, paid advertising, and stuff like that. So it's harder to scale initially, at least, on such a big way. But there's different aspects which can be applied to it. Anyway, we've got all this and much more for you in 2 weeks' time. That's all we've actually got for you here tonight. So we've been going for 56 minutes now. And hopefully you've picked up some good info here. If you have got any questions, now is the time to ask them. And yeah, okay, so let's see. Stephen says, any thoughts on a boosted post that's pulling a lot of traffic cheaply, but from mostly a non-English speaking country? Well, AdSense is very smart, so it will probably be giving these people ads in their own language. I know for me, for example, when I go to different websites, it gives me ads in Spanish. So, is Crowdforce something that can or could be outsourced? Yes, absolutely. In fact, inside Crowdforce, I'm glad you asked. Inside Crowdforce, we've got a tool here, link here, manage users. This is where you can add your own users, your own outsourcing team to it. Okay, so it can be done. We actually have a team as well that we use because we use Crowdforce in our own business, and we've got a team, our own team, which just do Crowdforce, all day, every day, and they run it. They use Crowdforce for us. They do all the work for us, and in the past we have made that team available. So I'll put a link in the members area about how you can outsource your Crowdforce needs to our team if you're interested in that. Is Bounce Breaker more effective for redirect pages or email signups? It's effective for both. So Heather is saying with Bounce Breaker, should you use it to try to build an email list or try to redirect people to the right pages? I mean, both really. It depends what your objective is. If you're trying to build an email list, then use it to get the leads. Otherwise, just send them to your most lucrative pages. Thanks for all the feedback, guys. Really great to get this feedback in here. Mabel says, great session. We do appreciate that. Paula's saying, how do you put the trust seals on the website? We're going to have to make a video about that, Paula. Serge says, how do you assign work to producers and how much do you pay the producers? It will really depend, but to give you an idea, $500 a month is a full-time salary for someone that speaks English as a first language in the Philippines. So you could have someone working full-time, adding new content to your website for just $500 a month. and they would be native, well-educated English speakers in the Philippines. And what you would typically do is you would say to them, look, okay, I'm working on this website, it's about scuba diving, and I need to add 2 new articles to it every single day. And that would probably, you can work out how long that would take someone because you've done that. And then if they're full-time, then you'd probably have them running about, several websites at a time, or even a lot more. And they could also be, you could train them to, once they've added content to your website, put it on your Facebook page. So, yeah. What else have we got here? So Fee says, I've seen that lots of pages only post single photos that get lots of traffic. How can I use that type of post to create something tantalizing enough that my fans will go to on my website? It's hard to. I'm just trying to think of that because every sort of niche would be different. I mean, the golf niche would be quite different to the motivation niche.
Hey,
Yeah.
and on that one, just an idea. If there were a series, what I would do in that situation, if there were a series of photos, like a small album or something, you can put a good one, right, that's going to capture the people, and then obviously say, hey, see the rest of the album, click here, blah blah blah. If you have 3 or 5 or 8 photos that you can, snag for that. So.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, thanks for that, Mark. By the way, Mark, if you see any other points that you want to mention or any other questions you've had that you want to highlight, feel free just to jump in. I'm just slowly working through them here.
Yeah, no, I've just been trying to type to them, but okay.
Cool. So John says, when you use Crowdforce to research posts, do you use those posts on your sites? Well, yeah, you can do, or they can give you inspiration. Like that one, let me see if I can pull something up here. If I come back into Facebook Engage module, engaged posts, and let's have a look at Elite Daily. And let me just open up a couple of these. This one here, it just says nailed it. I've got no idea what it's about, but I'll open it up. There we go. If I ran like a motivational page or something, I might want to put that there. I might want to put this on it. 78,000 people like it. It's actually quite good. Politically correct. But yeah, I mean, it's a great way to get ideas, which you can obviously put on your own Facebook page. And remember, sometimes on Facebook, you don't have to link back to your website. You can just put something like this up to engage people. Let's have a look at another one here. This one, I saw this one actually. There's no way you would say no to this. And again, it's a guy who uses custom Monopoly board to propose to his wife. And yeah, so I mean, this is obviously about all kinds of different topics, this one here. But if you were looking specifically at a page about scuba diving or something, then yeah, you definitely want to use the results on your own Facebook page.
Hey, and here's one.
Sure.
I think a lot of folks are kind of in the sports arena. This VJ says, with a sports-based niche, are the posts typically based on time, like news-related stuff? Yes, if you're posting stuff like scores or stats or that kind of stuff, but we have a few sports sites, and what we look for, let's just say for say football, he asks, if you put together a collection of like big hits or unbelievable plays, those have a little more evergreen type of power to them. I don't know, maybe you do week five's greatest hits, or just something along those lines. They'll have more longevity than any kind of
yeah,
other
and
things.
yeah, that's a good point. And also, anything kind of bizarre that happens in sports, like an alligator walking across a golf course, was one I saw the other day. That's going to be good value now, and it's also going to be interesting in 10 years' time. So, Jane says, is Crowdforce the new way to get content for our websites? It helps us find popular posts, right? Yeah, so I mean, it's not the new way, it's just another tool that you've got in your arsenal. So it's another way that you can find content. So Dalton says didn't quite understand the how to use Crowdforce and implement it with the 100K Factory websites. So what we're doing here is we are identifying the most popular posts on similar websites. So if you are in scuba diving, then analyze another scuba dive website and find their most popular posts and see if you can use them for inspiration. Like this one here. This is from Shark Diver magazine. I can probably open this up and have a look. Okay. So this is a great example of the type of thing. You could probably take that image from Shark Diver magazine and probably use it. Okay. That's probably not the best example, but anyway, hopefully you can realize that what we're doing here is we're identifying popular posts that are proven to be popular because we can see that they're popular. Let me see what else I've got here. Here's a rock climbing one. I was looking at rock climbing, and let me just see. And by the way, over here it says what these are. Some of them are photos, some of them are links. We can open these up. So this is an interview in the Forbes magazine. Now, of course we can get this interview from that Forbes magazine, and we can put something like this on our website if we wanted to. Okay, so all we've done is we've identified that highly valuable content, and we know it's popular content because it got 39 shares, 374 likes. That might not sound like a huge amount, but it's one of the most popular ones on this page, and I bet they've done no advertising at all on it. So hopefully that makes more sense. So when you're copying the address from a Facebook page into Crowdforce, you just need this one here, not these funny characters at the end of it. So normally you'll see a question mark and then a whole bunch of funny characters. So you don't want one like this. If I just click on that, it's this raw URL. Okay, let me see if I can find a better way to tell you how to get this. If you just click on the name of a Facebook page, like if I click here, no, that didn't work. Anyway, just remove that question mark, remove everything after the question mark, and it's just this raw URL. Try putting that one in, Teresa. Helen, if you are a member of Blueprint Pro, then you can find information about selling on Amazon in there. If your demographic is 18 to 24, then with AdSense, it should I mean, you shouldn't really be an issue monetizing that. And guys, I don't want you to overthink everything we're doing here. Everything we've been through today, and especially at the beginning when I was talking about Crowdforce, this is just another tool in your arsenal. You don't have to use it, but it's there for you to use if you want to use it. Okay. So Jane's saying, if we're using Facebook advertising, how do we use Bounce Breaker? Well, you can put Bounce Breaker on any page that you are not sending paid traffic to. So you can have it on every page on your website except the ones that you're sending paid traffic to. And soon you'll have access to the billboard tool and also the attention grabber, and you can use them on every single page, even the ones that have got paid traffic going to them, because they're not pop-ups. How do we find viral videos with common use license? Well, YouTube is fine for the most part. Most YouTube videos can be just embedded. In fact, 99.9% of YouTube videos can just be embedded into your website. And if they can't be, they won't have the embed button. Regan says, is blocking ads okay if I'm getting many clicks on the ones being shown? Not really sure what you mean there, Regan. Terry says, really appreciate the help and the resources. You are welcome, Terry. How do you find outsourcers? Well, Elant is a great place. In fact, April, if you're interested in outsourcing, I would recommend you come to my website. I've got this one here, Elant's case study, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this one here has got an entire case study about how to outsource, all the different rules that we kind of use. Okay, so you might want to check that out, April. And Toby says, thanks for this, Toby. Toby says, I outsource at $5 per hour in the Philippines. Brilliant with English. That's good. Can't complain. $5 an hour for a highly skilled worker. Will outsourcers add to your website and Facebook page? Yeah, why not? Definitely. They can if you want them to. You can find them on Elant, absolutely. It's not hard to find someone for $500 per month full-time in the Philippines. What I would do to begin with is just start someone on one project and go through this blog post because you'll get a lot more information, but just start someone on one project and then if they're good, give them a slightly bigger project. And if they're good, give them a slightly bigger project. So first of all, your job might be to, hey, go out and find 4 articles that we can add to the website. I want you to write the content for them. I want you to put them on the website. And if you do it well, I'll give you some more work. And then you just train them. Rob says, great course. I wish I had this a couple of years ago. Very pleased I have it now. Good stuff, Rob. Hey, Russell. Russell is a fellow New Zealander. I didn't realize you were from New Zealand, Russell. What else have we got here? I'm just scrolling through here slowly, guys. You can absolutely have a Filipino worker curate your content. Definitely. Whatever you can imagine can pretty much be done with outsourcing. Sheldon, we'll have some more information about that probably in the next few weeks or something. So Deborah, and again, if you haven't seen this, I'm sorry I keep going back to showing you stuff on this website, but Deborah just said, and I'll just copy this in here. So we love getting this kind of feedback. And Deborah just said this. Deborah said, followed your 1,000 leads in a week case study, and 5 days I've got 775 likes. Thrilled and ready to get new site going to complement it. So that's awesome. So the one that Deborah, I think it was, Deborah was talking about is last month, 1 month ago, I did a case study, how I built 1,000 fans in under 5 days. If you haven't been through this yet, it's absolutely relevant to 100K Factory, obviously. So, in fact, that's the whole reason I did it, so that 100K Factory members would have more, another form of training, because everyone learns slightly differently. But we've got these different videos here, and they just walk you through the entire step. And that's what Deborah used, and she got 1,000. She got 775 lead Facebook likes in 5 days. So great stuff. And she's also got an ebook up on Kindle. Cool. Can outsourcers research content to put on the site? Yes. They can literally do anything, anything you want them to do. Let's see here. I'm just going down through here. Walter says, can you place Amazon items directly on Facebook for sale? Yes, you can do that. You shouldn't use pop-ups. So this is for Lonnie. Lonnie says, so Bounce Breaker can't be used on boost posts. You shouldn't use any kind of pop-up on a page that you're sending Facebook paid traffic to. That's against Facebook's terms. The original purpose of the Crowdforce software, Yvette, was to be able to drive traffic without having to rely on paid ads, without having to rely on getting top rankings in Google. What Crowdforce does, its core process is to identify what we call pockets of traffic, little places where there's traffic around the web which you can tap into. So it's got a whole bunch of different modules. I would encourage you to check it out, because it has got a whole bunch of different modules here. And you can tap into them to get a wide range of different types of traffic coming to your website. Crowdforce is not really designed for websites that use AdSense, because obviously, AdSense payouts are not mammoth. Okay, So it works better with higher payouts, so e-commerce websites, affiliate websites. But it's a great way to get good quality backlinks and move you up the rankings as well.
Hey, Aiden.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking, and I would imagine others have the question: do you give outsourcers your Facebook password? I'm assuming that question is for writing the posts, and those posts are really going to be written on your WordPress site. So no, I wouldn't give anybody my Facebook password. And if you're doing it for your WordPress site, just create a new user account with like author level permissions, and that way they can log in and write a post. But that's about all they can do. They can't make any other changes and such. So
Yeah. And they can still do all the preparation and everything like that for you. And after you've built up some trust, then you could start giving them more access. Like we've got people in our team that have got access to everything. Like, it might sound crazy, but they've got access to bank accounts, everything. And that's just because we kind of need that. But it doesn't start like that on day one. You slowly build up to that. I'm I think we've get through most of them. I'm just browsing back through to see if I missed any. So a couple of people have said that they have been away and they're just sort of catching up on things now. Like Mark said that he had to go on vacation after the third week, so he's way back on week 4. That's absolutely fine. You're not alone. There are other people in that situation as well. So if you're still at the point where your website's not finished, or maybe it's finished but it's not making you money, that's fine. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Everyone can go at their own pace. So I encourage you just to keep working the system, and you'll get there. And Toby says, this is a good one: don't be scared to use your kids as well for pocket money. I have 2 teenage boys that also write content for the post. That's awesome. Yeah, great. And great way to start teaching them about the whole online business thing as well. And this is a nice one. I'm going to take a little screenshot of this as well. We get these literally all the time, guys, and I do appreciate people sending these in. I've been trying for a year and a half doing IM, and we're finally making money because of you. Thank you very much. And you don't have to thank us, Terry. You've been the person that's put in the hard work, so we're just appreciative that you put your trust in us and you jumped in the system. So that is awesome. This is, we never get tired of hearing these type of things. So congratulations, that's brilliant. Brian, we're not going to cover the dropship model in this course. And Kathy says that she also did the this case study, and she got 1,756 likes. That's awesome. That's great. And David says he's getting 2 cent likes. He's getting 150 new likes per day. John says he's got 1,700 likes on his first Facebook page, and his cost per like is about 7 cents. Good stuff. So April, this is pretty cool. I'm not going to copy all of these because it just takes time. But April says, a little testimony. After 3 months of a disabled ad account for Facebook, I finally got it fixed. After 11 days, I have over 2,100 likes on one page and 1,700 on another. They're adding up exponentially now. This is so fun. Thanks, guys, for all the help. That is awesome, April. I'm so glad to hear that. So with 100K Factory, we are now at the point where we've been through the main system. Okay, so we've been through about how to build your websites, how to find content, how to generate a community, how to make money, and we've got people now who are doing 6 figures per month. Remember we spoke about John Gilman? I think he did about $120,000 in July it was, I think, his first month. So we've been through the steps. What we're doing now is focusing on the strategic expansion, and Steve's going to continue with that next week. But there's really not that much left in the program now because we have been going for 15 weeks. Most of it now is just a case of working the system. I'm sure we'll have more updates in the future as well when things change. That's what we normally do. Something changes, then we'll have another webinar, we have another update. But we are getting towards the end now of the official training anyway. Wow, this is cool. I am gonna show you this one. So this is Brandon, and he says, I'm getting 40 to 50 email subscribers per day. Just have to get the autoresponder making money now. 40 to 50 email subscribers per day. That's brilliant. That's a couple of thousand a month. That's cool. So great stuff. And are you using Bounce Breaker, Brandon? If you're not, you should start using that because that will make it jump up even more. Claudio is saying, are you going to launch 100K Factory 2? We don't have any plans to do that. And when we released this for the first time, we said we were going to do it once and we're never going to do it again. Now, we don't really want to say never, but we do not have any plans for that, Claudio, no. We're not going anywhere. So when the official training finishes, we'll still have support desk and stuff like that. So it's not like we're just going to disappear and forget about you guys. We're not. That's not how we run our business. So rest assured, we will be here. But we've still got some more good content to come. By the way, Terry, I would love to have an update from you about how you're doing now. And Brandon is using the Bounce Breaker tool as well, and I'm guessing that he's also got the other opt-in forms on his website as well. Laura says, I loved it when we did the case studies of successful members in the past. Maybe we could do that again. So cool to hear about everyone's success. And I was just going to show another comment from someone saying that they've built a $1.5 million business plan for their business next year. So that's pretty exciting. Obviously, someone is doing pretty well. I went to copy it, and I guess Mark or Mario must have replied to him, which removes it, which is fine. But anyway, that's pretty cool. All right, guys. Well, we've been going for 1 hour and a half. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I think I've got. Oh, look at this. Okay, I just can't resist this one. I was just about to finish, but then I saw this. By the way, for 2 weeks straight, I was making $40 profit from one post. I'm guessing that's $40 per day. So we get these. I'll show you. I'll make that a bit bigger so people can see it. But this is what Dylan said. For 2 weeks straight, I was making $40 profit from one post. And I'm guessing that's $40 profit per day. But whichever way, whatever it is, it's pretty cool. So
Yeah, he just said per day.
yeah, he's just typed it in there saying yes, it is per day. So that's freaking awesome. But we get this all the time. Like, you guys don't seem like you just tell us when we're on a webinar. It would be great if you actually emailed in, and there you go. You said it's per day. It'd be great if you emailed in and tell us, because we love hearing these things. But anyway, guys, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And we're going to be back in 2 weeks' time with the next session. We'll get this replay up just as soon as possible. Go ahead and give Crowdforce, give it a run. You'll enjoy it if you haven't used it yet. Same with Bounce Breaker as well. So from on behalf of Mark and Mario, thanks again, guys. We will be in touch next time. Talk soon.